Well, it's been another week, and it's been a week. I don't know what's going on, but it's been one of those weeks. We're getting closer to a lot of our cruises. We now have 140 days until our next cruise or so. That will be the Serenade of the Seas out of Vancouver, going up to Alaska. Still have to get all of our travel arrangements made to get to Vancouver. We're still looking at how we're going to get there. Got a couple of options. We can go up to Seattle and take train up to Vancouver, or we can try and fly direct into Vancouver. Both have their pros and cons, but we'll probably make a decision here soon, as we'll be running out of time if we don't get something done here soon. Let's go ahead. The train option means that we will have a 4-hour train ride plus the flight cross country. And the other issue with taking the train is coming back. We will have to spend an extra day if we want to avoid having to take a red-eye flight home. But on the plus side, we're coming back around the 4th of July, so we will have the extra day holiday for me for work, so not a big deal. Other than that, family-wise, fine. Father-in-law's still having some issues. He's been back in the hospital and trying to get him back to the rehab and complications. So still up in the air, still figure out where he's at, but he's doing okay. Otherwise, the rest of the family's doing fine. The other things going on these days, we've got it is February, so it is the Festival of Arts at Epcot this month, so potentially looking at going out to Epcot at some point this month. Got annual passes, so we might as well make use of it. We've also got the Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Festival. In just under 2 weeks, we'll be going out to Tampa and enjoying the Drink, Eat, Relax Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Festival. This will probably be, I think, the 8th year that we've attended. We attended last year here in Tampa, and another 6 years, I think, at the Atlanta location. So that will be on the 19th of February in Tampa. So we've already got our tickets. I believe there's probably still some general admission tickets. I don't know if there's still any of the VIP tickets open and available. But definitely something that I've enjoyed. I've gotten to sample and taste quite a few different brands of bourbons and whiskeys and scotches, as well as just all sorts of beers and that from around the world. A lot of local stuff is also presented as well, so it's a fun event. They do have food. They've got some bands playing, so there's music. It's usually at an outdoor park, so it's a really nice event to go to. You get little miniature Pilsner glasses, and you basically just go around and try what you want to try. If you find something you like, you can keep going back for more. VIP tickets get you in at noon. General admission usually gets you in at 2, and it goes until like 4 or 6. So it can be a fun afternoon. Last year we went and we didn't stay too long because it was just extremely hot and the heat was getting to us. It was just pretty much one of the first things we'd done since getting to Florida, so we weren't quite used to being out in the heat. So we tried to stay out as much as we could, and just we drank what we wanted, we ate what we wanted, we enjoyed the festivities, and then we made our way back home. And it was well worth the trip for us. So we're looking forward to it again this year. Last year was delayed because of COVID. They had it later in the year. So it was hotter. It's usually held closer in the spring, like February, January. So it's a little bit cooler. So hopefully it's going to be a little bit different for us this year. We haven't been back to Disney at any of the parks since Joanne's birthday trip in December. We didn't go before the cruise because we were isolating to try and make sure that we didn't catch anything before the cruise. And since being back from the cruise, we really haven't gone and done anything yet because we've been isolated to make sure that we didn't get anything on the cruise. But now that we're out of the cruise cycle there for a while, now it's time for us to be able to get back and make use of our annual pass. We really made use of it in October, made a few trips there in November and December. So we'll get back into it, possibly do some more weekend trips out to the parks. So we'll see what's out there. We'll see what's going on new. The last time we were there, it was the wine festival, food and wine festival. Now it's the art Festival of Arts. So there'll be something new and exciting to see. And we will go ahead and yes. Cats. Can't live with them. And they'll annoy you if you don't talk to them. But come here. Here. So it's just been everyday life. This is Dennis Leary. No, it's Buster. He's just a little bit of a a-hole. So we just call him our Dennis Leary. I've just been busy keeping up with work, picking up some new tech skills. So that's been good. I'm looking forward to Joanne making some rum cake. We live life without our regrets, but we have one regret. And our one regret was that when we were in St. Martin, we only bought one rum cake because that rum cake went way too fast and it was way too delicious. But we made up for it in the fact that we bought lots of rum while we were there. So Joanne has got the recipe and is getting the ingredients, and we're going to be making some rum cake. Yes. But that would be the only regret we had, and we both commented on that when we were eating the rum cake, was that we regretted only having bought one, because we probably could have eaten a couple of ourselves. So we will have rum cake soon. Hopefully that might make it into the dessert rotation along with the New York style cheesecake that we love. So don't know who's going to make it with us tonight, if anybody. So we will give it a chance. It's only 10 after the hour. So we'll see what goes on. So yeah, 140 days until Serenade. We're just under the 300-day mark now for Carnival Celebration. That will be the new Carnival ship coming out, and looking forward to that. That is going to be another chance for us to be able to cruise with our friends Ann and Steve, who we haven't cruised with for a couple years now, but we did get to see them when we got off our ship in Labor Day weekend, and we picked them up at their hotel and took them to the cruise port before we headed home. So we got a chance to at least see each other, but we hadn't been able to cruise since the cruise that we were going to be cruising on together had been canceled because of COVID. Other news, we're going ahead and renewing our lease here at the house. We will be staying here another year to give us another chance to spend some more time to actually try and find where we're going to finally live. We would like to stay here in this community, but at this point, being able to build doesn't look like it's going to be much of an option for us here because the lots are quickly filling up and there's only certain areas where we can build the floor plan we were looking to build. So we will probably be starting to look a little bit elsewhere, not too far from where we're at now, but we will probably not be in the same community. This is a nice community, so we'll probably be trying to find another that's as equally nice that we can hopefully build. Given the cost of most of the HOAs, we would rather build a house and get everything we want rather than go ahead and pay a high HOA fee for a house that's a resale that might not have everything we want and have to have a lot of work to get it closer to what we want. So, money's worth, we want to go ahead and build the house and be able to get it to what we want. Tonight's backdrop here was from our cruise pre-COVID. So last week I had the cruise photo from our recent cruise. This one was from before the cruise when we were in Costa Maya, Mexico. I don't know if the cruise ships are going back to Costa Maya. We did go to Cozumel, but I don't know if Costa Maya was still open yet or not. But this was the Aztec ruins, which was a really interesting experience. I'm glad we really got to do that before all of this stuff with Joanne's feet hit, because this is definitely not a excursion that she would be able to do now, because there was an absolute lots of walking and there was no way that you could take a mobility scooter on this type of excursion. As I recall, we went and took it's kind of like a charter bus from the port to the location, and then we were walking through a lot of the woods. So a lot of it was like gravel walkways to walk on. Some of the steps there, as you can tell, are big steps to take, so they're not easy to climb if you have any sort of mobility issues. It was really fun in that there were lots of wild monkeys, so we got to see a lot of native activity. There were a lot of parts of the ruins that were still hidden, and you also had to watch your step while exploring some of them because of the fact of the roots of the trees being a trip hazard. So again, not something very well for somebody with mobility issues now. So I'm glad we got to do it when we could. Those people that wanted to be able to do video, you were able to take as many photos as you wanted, but if you took a video camera like a camcorder or a GoPro or anything other than your cell phone, you did have to pay a small fee. It was a government tax that you had to pay before you actually started going through the ruins, that you had to pay just to be able to do the video recording. So they wanted to make sure they got some revenue if you did video. And honestly, it wasn't that much, so I did take some video. I've got a lot of the tour guide's discussion and everything on the YouTube footage that I just haven't had time to go through yet. Put that on the to-do list. But I've got a lot of the tour guide giving us a lot of the history and information about the ruins and the recovery of the ruins and the cleaning up. There were areas of the ruins that were actually having a lot of renovations, kind of, where they were actually trying to restore it and clean it up and get it back to where you could see it, because it was still under earth. So it was a lot of fun. definitely something I would love to do again and explore again. Don't know how practical it will be for us these nowadays, but you never know. We may get to. Now we're looking for different excursions and different activities to go do that are a lot easier for Joanne to accomplish, since we don't tend to go do separate things when we're on cruise together. Yeah. Other than that, I have been swamped with work, too much work, not enough fun times. So I would love to get back to some of my D&D campaigns, but the scheduling has not worked out. I've also thought about potentially trying to put together a campaign for anybody that would be interested in doing a D&D campaign. We can do it either in person or do it online, and be able to have another way to hang out. I've started the Discord server. The link is in the bottom of the video in the description. Good place to be able to catch up. I have a lot of my YouTube creators that I follow. I have that set up to set up the alerts, so it actually will alert in the channel, in the one channel on the Discord server, when any videos are posted. I've also got it set up so when we get some people wanting to come here and join me and just have a discussion, debate, talk about whatever, the system is set up and I can bring people online and have a conversation. So we can have more than just me standing around talking on a video. Are you going to let me be? No. So you are not the one that normally is in my arms. But he does seem to like being held in our lap whenever we're talking on a cell phone, so I guess he thinks I'm talking on the phone and wants to be in arms. So we've got Valentine's Day coming up. We've got the festival coming up. We'll have President's Days coming up here, so gonna have a few days to relax and unwind. So we'll see what we can get up to, and I'll be sure to try and take some good photos and videos to be able to share with anybody that's interested. We're all about trying to get out there and exploring and sharing what we have and what we love, and that'll be the way it is. Other than that, this week I don't have much news. I don't have a whole cruise to discuss, and since we don't seem to have anybody joining in tonight, this video will just be going up for people to comment afterwards, so I'll go ahead and keep it short tonight and go give this little guy some attention. So, as always, we only have one life. Live it without regrets.